Project Warlock 2 left early access, and the game has certainly seen a lot of change from its original release to where it's at now, delivering a game that is a little bit kinder and gentler with its booming and shooting, and worth your time if you're looking for a little high-stakes summer shooter to play. When a warlock goes rogue and threatens the entire universe by corrupting everything they touch, it's up to 3 very unlikely heroes to shoot, stab, and destroy a whole lot of monsters in order to try and save the day. Project Warlock 2 continues with the first game's use of allowing you to customize your playstyle by augmenting weapons and your general abilities, and while the first game went a bit further in that respect, the choices here still are pretty solid. Each campaign follows through with one of the 3 characters, and they each get access to a different set of weapons, different set of 3 spells, and they can have their stats upgraded after each mission. This will allow you to choose from different perks, provided you can invest in enough of those stat points. All the weapons feel very interesting and nice to use, and with each weapon kind of counting as 2 given the double upgrade paths, does give the game some replay value if you want to try different variations of weapons and different modifiers that go with them. Now, as for our general play, you're going to be doing like classic boomer shooting. Each level is a giant maze full of secrets, secret cameos, and of course arena fights and enemies spawning to try and take you out. There are multiple difficulty settings, and the footage you're seeing is being played on the highest difficulty, which what it does is lower the amount of damage body shots do to enemies, but increases headshot damage. So if you're quite good at getting those 360 no-scopes, you should be quite fine with it. And that takes me to one of the more interesting aspects of Project Warlock 2. Despite the footage you're seeing with all the craziness and shooting and me nearly dying, this one felt quite easy compared to some of the other boomer shooters that we've played in recent time. A lot of this has to do with the different skill loadouts that you have access to. If you find a specific style weapon or spell that works best for you, you are going to be in a very easy time. For me, I went with kind of very high single target damage, so the second character kind of excels with that, and a lot of my playthrough with them was just sniping enemies and dealing them before they could even do anything to me. Each character's spells also provide you with a very handy trump card. The first character can turn into a dual-wielding monster of destruction, the second character can become invulnerable while they're using their speed spell with melee as an upgrade, and the third character can basically cheat death for a few seconds if they run out of health while the spell is active. And the enemies do come very fast and rapid, and they do not hold back, especially near the end, when the arenas become a little bit more advanced. I do like the different secrets that the game throws at you. Some are just as simple as finding a crack in a wall, others will involve you searching for buttons, switches, or some other conditional in order to activate them. And the game definitely gives you enough through play to kind of see each episode through to its end. Once you beat the game regardless of difficulty, you kind of unlock a special mode that lets you play as the other characters outside of their episodes, so there's additional challenges to go with that. The ending does feel a little bit abrupt, especially the 3rd episode, where it becomes a lot faster to play. As a point of comparison, the first 2 episodes, a typical map took me maybe 10 to 20 minutes, give or take, not hunting down all the secrets. When I got to episode 3, I was running these maps in about 3 to 5 minutes, and I wasn't even trying to speedrun. It was just kind of like the general size and layouts got far smaller. If I had any issues with this, is that while the gunplay did feel good in Project Warlock 2, nothing I think stood out to me. There really wasn't like any one individual set piece that like blew my mind in the way that we saw with a game like Sulaco or Ultrakill. The enemies all follow very basic patterns of either charge at you screaming or try and stand back and snipe you from afar. And while the game does mix things up by introducing elite enemies that can randomly spawn if you're playing on like the highest difficulty, if you're playing on that difficulty and you know what you're doing, A elite enemy is not going to cause you any trouble compared to once you know, well, just to keep aiming for the head. And while the developer is adamant about this point, I would have liked the ability to be able to respec your skills and your weapon loadouts. The idea is that you're supposed to restart the game or restart the campaign to try new things, but it can be frustrating to make a choice and realize that it just doesn't work for you, and then you're stuck with it for the entire length of the episode. So while Project Warlock 2 may not be the most over-the-top shooter that we've seen, it's still very solid all around. And I would still recommend playing the first game as well, as it did do a little bit more in terms of the weapon customization and challenge along those lines. So it's great to see that the game did finally finish its early access, and it's still a really great shooter. And if you are in the mood to get a lot of variety with your booming and shooting, I would give this one a play. Project Warlock 2 was played with a press key provided by a developer. Let me take a your game for a future stream showcase. Doesn't involve anything with shooting, boomers, or whatnot. Please get in touch. If you did play this one all the way through, let me know what you thought about it as well down in the comments. And with that, I will see everyone in our next video. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff. Be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and if you're interested more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.